everyone. Welcome back to our channel SS Biology. In my last video, I discussed the fundamentals of a living system. That link was given in the description box. Today, I am going to discuss about the topic biodiversity as well as the basics of classification of the whole living system. So if you like the video, please subscribe our channel. Let's begin. Biodiversity is the occurrence of variety of life form differing in several factors like morphology, size of the organisms, their color, anatomical structure, where they live and how they behave or their habits, etc. Each different kind of plant, animal and microorganism that we can see represent a group which we call as species. The term biodiversity was first used by W. G. Rosen in 1986. The approximate number of species that are known and well documented ranges between 1.7 to 1.8 millions, among which 1.25 millions are animals and 0.5 millions are plants. But these plants and animals are commonly known by their local names, and these names would vary from place to place. So to solve this problem, there is a need to standardize the naming of living organism such that a particular organism is known by the same name all over the world. To perform this process, a new branch of biology was introduced which deals with cataloging plants, animals and other organisms into different categories according to their nature. This branch of biology is known as systematics. Systematics includes 4 important steps to categorize an organism. These are identification, classification, nomenclature and taxonomy. Identification is the finding of correct name and place of an organism in a system of classification. It is done with the help of featuring keys. This process is carried out by determining the characters which are already similar with known organisms. Classification is the process by which anything is grouped into convenient categories based on some easily observable characters. It helps to study an organism conveniently. Nomenclature is the process to standardize naming of living organisms such that a particular organism is known by the same name all over the world. Binomial nomenclature is one of the important part of this nomenclature system. It is universally accepted principles to provide scientific names to the organisms. This nomenclature system was introduced by Carolus Linnaeus. He published his research works as a book which is titled as Systema Naturae, which English meaning is the system of nature. According to the binomial nomenclature, each scientific name has 2 components, the generic name which indicates the genus and the specific epithet which indicates the species. So if we consider the scientific name of human, that is the Homo sapiens, Homo is the generic name whereas sapiens is the specific epithet. For plants, scientific names are based on agreed principle and criteria which are provided in International Code for Botanical Nomenclature, that is ICBN. Similarly, according to the rules of International Code for Zoological Nomenclature, that is ICZN, the scientific name of animal is provided. Along these, there are 4 universal rules which should be followed while dealing with the binomial nomenclature. Number 1, all the scientific names are usually Latin. So according to the Latin language, they are written in italics. The second point I have already discussed about. It is about the binomial nomenclature that contain two different parts. The former is genus and the latter part is species. The third point depicts the rule how to write these Latin scientific names by paper pen medium. During handwritten, the names should be underlined separately, that is, one line under genus name and the one line under the species name. And when it is typed, it should be in italics. And the last point is the name of genus should be start with capital letter and the species name starts with small letter. So these are all the detailed information about the process of nomenclature. Next we move to the last step of systematics, that is taxonomy. Taxonomy is the process of classification through which all living organisms can be classified into different taxa. External and internal structure, cell structure, developmental process, ecological information, all are necessary for taxonomic study. In this study, two important keywords are essential: taxonomic category and taxonomic hierarchy. Each step of taxonomic classification is called taxonomic category, and these are commonly known as taxon or taxa. According to Linnaeus, there are 7 categories: kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. But recently, a new taxon domain is added, which is the most superior category. There are also some subcategories in between each category, and all of these categories together constitute a hierarchy which is termed as taxonomic hierarchy. In the hierarchy, kingdom is the superior or the highest category, whereas species is the lowest one. Now we will just go through all of the 7 categories in brief. The first category is kingdom, and as I say earlier that it is the highest level of classification. In 1969, Robert H. Whittaker proposed a system which recognizes 5 kingdoms of living things: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Each of these kingdoms are further divided into another category, which is termed as phylum or division. In case of animals, this category is known as phylum and division is applicable for plants. It is the second category and is more specific than kingdom. The kingdom Animalia contains 35 phyla like Porifera, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Chordata, etc. The next category is class. Phylum or divisions are divided into various classes. Linnaeus used this term for a category which has several similar ordered living things. The kingdom Animalia has 108 different classes, including class Mammalia, class Reptilia, class Amphibia, etc. Class is further divided into order. It is more specific than class. The class Mammalia has at around 26 orders like order Primates, order Carnivora, etc. Similarly, order is divided into family. Order consists of few similar genera. Order Carnivora contains the family like Canidae, which is the fox family, Felidae, that is the cat family, and the Arcidae, that is the bear family. Further, family is divided into the category genus, which are comprised of similar character species. Genus are of 2 types, monotypic genus and polytypic genus. The genus, which is consist of only one species, is called as monotypic genus, and the genus having more than one species is called polytypic genus. And it is the time for the lowest category of the taxonomic hierarchy, that is the species. This category is the most specific one. This is comprised of the organism according to their reproductive ability. The type of organisms which are able to interbreed are considered as a similar kind of species. For example, human can interbreed among themselves. So, human is a species and the species name is sapiens. So, these are all about the categories and the basics of taxonomy. Let's look for some examples. Here we consider two examples, one plant and another an animal. The plant I chose is commonly known as rose plant. So, just see its scientific classification. Its kingdom is Plantae, its phylum is Angiosperma, class is Eudicot, order is Rosales, family is Rosaceae, genus is Rosa, and species is Cainensis. So, as the scientific name contains the genus and the specific name, so its scientific name is Rosa cainensis. It is absolutely similar for the animal. I consider the lion. Its kingdom is Animalia, phylum is Chordata, class is Mammalia, order is Carnivora, family is Felidae, genus is Panthera, and species is Leo. So the scientific name of lion is Panthera leo. So, to achieve this entire procedure and the complex classification process, some techniques and files are maintained to simplify the whole taxonomic identification and classification procedures. These are called as taxonomical aids. There are 5 commonly used aids like Herbarium, Botanical Garden, Zoo, Museum, Key, etc. Here are some brief description of each of them. Herbarium is one of the simplest aids. Dried specimens of plants are mounted on sheets and stored systematically according to the system of classification. Different parts of plants can stored by this method. On the herbarium sheets, some data about the plant and its history of collection are noted for further reference. The next aid is Botanical Garden. It is a garden-like place where the living plants are taken care of. All the plants are well maintained and properly identified and labeled by its local and scientific name as well as its family. It is also very important for further reference of identification. The next one is museum. This is the storage place of died animals. Some animals are stored in jars using the preservatives, whereas some are stored as a dry specimen. These are very useful tool for detailed analysis of the external structure of the animals. The next is Zoological Garden or Zoo. Here living wild animals are kept in protected area to learn about their behavior, food habits, etc. Natural habitats of them are tried to provide as best as possible. And the final aid is the taxonomical key. It is an artificial device which are mainly used in identification. Here, 2 characters are taken at a time. Just see the example. For class Vertebrata, the character which is chosen is about the fur. The vertebrates which have fur on their skin are mammals, and who don't have fur are of another type. And this latter type are carried for the second character. The second character is about feather. The animals which have feather are birds or aves, and the others are carried to the next step. The third character is the place of fertilization. If the animals fertilize internally, they are reptiles, and the others are not. So they are carried to the final character is presence of animals which have gills in their adult phase and who do not have gills in adult animals are amphibians. Thus, the identification is done by using those taxonomical keys. As it is consist of two characters at a time, it is known as dichotomic key. Along with these aids, flora, manuals, monograms, and catalogs are some other means of taxonomical aids. So, it's all about for today. I have tried to cover the whole taxonomical systems. If you have any query, don't hesitate to comment. You can also send an email. The email ID is given in the description box. And if you like the video, please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you.